Now, before we begin, I would like to point out that I firmly believe Blue Sky is one of the most important websites on the internet. I'm not clickbaiting, I'm not joking. I generally believe that is one of the worst mental asylums that exists right now in the modern world. And just like any mental asylum, it keeps the crazies inside. It allows us, normal people, to exist without having mentally ill individuals impose themselves on us. For those of you who don't understand just how important this is, you probably forgot the time Tumblr went down. And all of the insanity went to Twitter. And it made life miserable and absolutely atrocious for everyone involved. And when Elon Musk bought Twitter, all of a sudden, all of the mental asylum moved to Blue Sky, right? So now we're back where we started. And so, God help us if Blue Sky ever ends up going offline or if anything bad happens to it, all right? And so I am deeply invested into the safety and well-being of Blue Sky, just like I'm deeply invested into the safety of and well-being of Twitch. Same reasons. Now, with that out of the way, seems that the United States now has passed a law in Mississippi which makes it difficult for Blue Sky to operate. Right? So this is another one of those popular dox yourself for the children laws that we're seeing worldwide. We see this with the United Kingdom. We're seeing this with Australia. And now we see the United States pass similar laws at the state level. Now, when it comes to me, I guarantee to you that my child is never going to go on Blue Sky. Ever. Even if he is 18, he will still not be able to go on Blue Sky under my roof. Because I'm not a moron, okay? I'm not an imbecile. And I do know that child protection software exists, right? It's called parental controls. I know how to install one and operate one. Like, I'm licensed in the knowledge and operation of parental controls. And as long as my kid is under my roof, he is not going to go on Blue Sky, period. When he wants to go on Blue Sky, he's going to get a job. He's going to stop being a parasite, go to his own house, and then he can do whatever the fuck he wants. But again, like, under my roof, there is not going to be Blue Sky. Like, the government is incapable of forcing me to allow my kid on Blue Sky. And at this point, I generally don't give a shit what the government does, right? Like, I do not need some fat-ass politician to raise my kid for me. I can raise it myself, thank you very much. However, unfortunately, other people are not as strong as I am. Other people are far weaker. They're a lot more insignificant than I am. Like, maybe their children dominate them or something. And so they require the government to fix it for them. But the government is kind of like a monkey paw type of wish, isn't it? You don't get what you want. And so, with this type of parental control, what happens is that the children bypass it anyway. Like, they use video game characters, they go on Discord, they conspire. Did you know that? Seriously, like, children conspire with each other. It's insane. Like, one of them can have an elderly brother, tells him how to bypass this shit, and then they all talk with each other, and they collaborate. It's insane, you know? It's kind of like crows. There's an experiment with crows, like people with masks scared crows, and then all the crows were afraid of people with masks. Children are the same, you know? You scare one child with a mask, and then they're all afraid of people that wear masks. Kind of works like that, you know, information passes from one to another. And so when it comes to figuring out how to bypass age verification, one of them figures out, and then the entire high school knows. Goodness gracious, right? So it turns out that it's not very useful. It is very profitable for the corporations that do the age verification. Like, they're making millions of dollars out of it. It's also extremely profitable for the politicians as well. Because it helps them with internet censorship. It's not profitable for the companies that are small size, like Blue Sky. And again, I told you why you should care about Blue Sky. You really need to start caring. If you don't care about it, you need to start. A lot, actually. And not just Blue Sky, but websites like 4chan, like Gab, like BitChute, like Kiwi Farms, like pretty much like the entire internet. That's not the big businesses. is affected by this. And what it does is, like, it prevents other websites from existing. Like, Blue Sky here basically says that the problem they have with this, number one is the broad scope, right? Like, your mother now has to dox herself in order to use Blue Sky, which is ridiculous. The fact that little Jimmy, he can use Blue Sky by using a video game character in order to bypass it. But it's also the cost, right? Like, now Blue Sky would have to work with one of these companies that you would have to trust it with your data. They're not cheap. They're expensive. And the punishment, like, apparently $10,000 per person, right? So, like, if a single person manages to go on Blue Sky and they're 17 rather than 18, Blue Sky has to pay $10,000. And they're basically stating, like, look, we don't make that type of money. I do believe them. They don't have that many people. So, it is a problem. And so, you know, I'm on the weird mentality that if something worked for 20 years, like the internet, right? Like, it worked fine for 20 years. I think it could have worked for 20 years more, especially when everything had parental controls. But unfortunately, we are where we are. So, Blue Sky had to region block Mississippi. It's unfortunate, isn't it? Right? But it's just another case, and I do think that the future is the cyberpunk utopia, where big tech is the only thing allowed to exist. Everything you do online is monitored, and it's going to be more and more difficult for websites like Blue Sky to operate. Obviously, you know, people will start using VPNs, but I already heard that in the UK, they want people to dox themselves even if they use the VPN. I'm curious, like, how are they going to make government officials dox themselves? Because one of the main reasons that they don't block the VPN is because the governments use the VPNs. And so, like, by blocking them would make it difficult for the officials to actually use their own security. Though, you know, they can always block it and just make an exception for government officials, which is something that I expect. Still, apparently, the law requires collecting and storing sensitive personal information from all users, including detailed tracking of minors. Right? It's fucking insane. I don't know who asked for this. I do think it's going to be implemented, and at some point, like, people will be fed up with it. Kind of like the prohibition, you know? Like, sometimes you have people that go muy loco. They ask for things without knowing what they're asking for. They're getting it. And then other people start getting upset, and it's like, who the fuck did this to me, and why is my internet fucked? Like, how do I unfuck my internet? And that's when you get the pushback. We'll see, right? Right now, we are moving towards more and more censorship, and I don't understand why. Like, we're not in the middle of a war. There's no famine going on, no crisis to justify this. But again, you can see on the astroturfing, like, how many people are treating pornography right now as if it's meth. Meanwhile, no one talks about hardcore drugs anymore. Interesting. Let me know what you guys think. And as usual, I'll see you in my next video. There's one right there in the middle. Okay, click it. Click it.